There is a specific kind of modern exhaustion that sleep doesn't seem to fix, a sense that daily life has become a little manufactured. We are surrounded by apps and tools designed to make every task effortless, yet we are constantly deeply drained. This runs counter to the promise of the 20th century. The original goal of mass automation was to free humans from the friction of labor. Machines were supposed to absorb our physical burdens so we could enjoy a life defined by leisure. This chart shows how that promise actually played out. As the line tracking technological convenience climbs, it intersects with a massive spike in human isolation. Today, in the United Kingdom alone, nearly 6 in 10 adults report feeling lonely. That equates to 31.4 million people living in the most hyper-connected era in human history while feeling entirely cut off. We never used automation to free ourselves from work. Instead, we took the logic of the factory floor, efficiency, speed, and continuous output, and applied it directly to human behavior. We started measuring our own worth by our capacity to produce. Our rest became a tracked metric. Our hobbies became side hustles. Our identities became polished brands, requiring constant maintenance. This pervasive exhaustion is the unavoidable price we pay for a lifestyle that treats human attention like an industrial resource. In 1989, sociologist Ray Oldenburg defined the third place. If your first place is home and your second is work, the third place is the cafe, the pub, or the library. Accessible physical locations where you could bump into neighbors and anchor yourself to a community. Over the last few decades, a combination of the rising cost of living and corporate real estate consolidation turned these communal spaces into premium experiences. Today, existing in public now requires a transaction. We have made this simple act of lingering a luxury. Corporate streamlining has physically altered what remains. Chains replaced independent shops, deploying hostile architecture and removing comfortable seating to ensure high customer turnover. With the rise of app-based workflows, even the brief interactions with a barista or fellow customer have been systematically engineered out. Without these spaces, socializing requires heavy logistical coordination. Coordinating calendars across different parts of a city turns friendship into another task on a never-ending to-do list. The cognitive load of maintaining relationships becomes overwhelming. By eradicating the third place, we removed the low-effort human friction that naturally staves off societal loneliness. We lost the spontaneous encounters that require no planning, but quietly remind us we belong to a wider world. As physical gathering spots vanished, we built a digital surrogate. We turned the internet into a massive third place, hoping to find community in comments. In 1967, long before the smartphone, philosopher Guy Debord predicted the danger of this shift. He called it the society of the spectacle. Debord argued that in advanced capitalism, authentic social life would be gradually replaced by its representation. Reality would be mediated entirely by images. The spectacle demands constant performance. Instead of having a private experience, you are incentivized to document and broadcast it. Lived moments are hollowed out, evaluated primarily on how well they can be packaged and consumed by others. This performance reaches into our most private moments, turning the act of waking up into the clean girl aesthetic, a staged sequence of journaling and skincare filmed in soft morning light. Even our exhaustion has been commodified. Mental health check-ins, crying selfies, and declarations of needing rest are filtered, edited, and posted for engagement. Our vulnerability is processed into content for an invisible audience. Seeking connection through a digital spectacle paradoxically reinforces our isolation. We are no longer interacting as humans. We are interacting as carefully managed brands. Historically, behavioral management was geographic. We lived in a disciplinary society where power was maintained by confining people inside physical institutions, the school, the hospital, and the factory. When you walked past the factory gates, the supervision ended. Philosophers Michel Foucault and Gilles Deleuze identified a transition away from those physical walls. They recognized the modern economy required a more sophisticated, invisible management. This is the society of control. Surveillance is no longer tied to a building. It is decentralized, diffuse, and internalized. The factory floor shrank, digitized, and moved into our pockets. The smartphone acts as a tether, ensuring market demands reach us anywhere, anytime. The symptoms of this control are everywhere. We install sleep trackers to grade our unconscious hours. We monetize our downtime. We treat our minds and bodies like corporate entities that require constant quarterly growth. The demand for productivity has colonized our existence. We are exhausted because we are now our own wardens, operating an internal factory that never closes. This pervasive exhaustion is the intended output of a system that measures human worth entirely through visibility and production. For a century, we treated friction as the enemy. We designed away the slowness, the physical effort, and the awkward inefficiencies of analog life. But that friction was the texture that made the world feel tangible. Healing requires actively seeking the friction out again. It means prioritizing physical, local spaces over digital feeds. It means cooking slowly, making things with your hands, and choosing the inefficient path just to feel the effort of your own body. In a world perfectly optimized to control your attention and extract your data for a digital spectacle, refusing to perform is a radical choice. Existing quietly, slowly, and completely unperceived by an audience is the ultimate act of modern rebellion.